ghouls and goblins, it's your favourite spooky queen, Charity Kase here, back again for another terrifying Dragula Season 6 episode review. This review is for episode 3, so honey, get prepared, because the claws are out, and the drama, deeper than Yuri's chocolate hole. Roll the intro! So, this week we jump right into the contestants, all around the table, talking about the scandalous rumour involving Aurora. Who was trying to get her kicked off? Jahari and Auntie step in like, oh, we've heard those rumours too. Was corroborating them, as some might say. So was Majesty talking about those two, or is there like more people whispering behind closed doors? Now, speaking of Auntie Heroine, I'm living for her right now. The attitude, the facial expressions. I'm not gonna lie, I think Auntie's kind of hot. Like, she has this whole like mystery, sexy, I want to eat your soul kind of vibe. That's my favourite. It was nice to see Auntie stand up for Scylla a little bit and defend her, basically saying that she wasn't too happy about her going home. That's the first time I've seen like a motherly instinct from her towards Scylla so far, so that was nice to see, even if it was like just a little too late. This week we had another day look with some scars, and this time it was Desiree, and I think these scars were maybe a little more painful. She returned from the extermination challenge. Then Gray comes in with this snarky, did you learn anything to Desiree? And I don't know, okay, Gray's drag is flawless, but he's out here throwing shade left, right, and center. I see him. All while standing to the side and not getting too involved. At this point, I'd love to see some more personality from Gray. Less disapproving librarian and more drag super monster. Okay, let's talk about the mini challenge. The contestants had to make a dating app profile video, all whilst eating disgusting bonbons. Pig brains, fish sauce, sounds like breakfast to me. Honestly, I would have died. To tell you a secret, I can't even eat an oyster without gagging. They were out here looking for love with bits of brain matter in their teeth. Who said romance is dead? I think Vivi absolutely nailed this mini challenge. She was flirty and fabulous and fearless, chowing down on those delicious treats. Majesty was also a standout to me. I thought she gave comedy. I think she's very funny. I love that Pi was topless. Like, why not? If in doubt, take off your top. And Asia seemed to handle the brains really, really well. She didn't seem to be too repulsed or retchy or vommy or anything like that. So that was impressive. So Asia won, and she got to choose who to give the curse to. Asia chose to put the curse on Grey Matter, leaving him only able to get ready in a little compact instead of a full-size mirror. And I think Asia's playing the game right. I think I would play the same game that Asia is. Honestly, I would have chosen Asia or Grey too, just as they're the front runners. I think Pi seems to be getting kind of a cringe, awkward edit, which I'm not a fan of. I love Pi. I think she's standing out as a top-notch artist to me. She's up there with Grey, Asia, and Auntie as my top competitors right now. Backstage, we get to see some of the looks being worked on again, and Vivi's looks super detailed and super interesting. Can't wait to see her floor show. And then we see a bit of vulnerability from Majesty. She opens up about her recent breakup and breaks down into tears, saying, I feel really sorry for Majesty that she's been through this. It's clearly something that's really affected her, and it's very traumatic. While I can relate, I felt a little too, let's just say, curated maybe. Like, are we sure those tears weren't just a little bit staged maybe? And then we had Asia drop the bomb of asking Pi into an alliance, the other way around. And this is straight after she totally trashed Pi's reputation with the other queens, which we hear from Grey and Vivi. It feels a little hypocritical. I think if I were Pi, at this point, I think I'd be close to spilling this in front of everyone and giving Asia the same treatment that she gave to Pi and just set fire to the contestants, you know what I mean? Watch it all burn, throw matches on the petrol. But instead, Pi accepts her offer, and it's probably the more sensible offer. They're both really strong competitors, and I'm excited to see where this is going. Now, let's talk about the floor show. The Boulet Brothers look like gorgeous comic book villains in their fluffy masked looks. We had some sickening judges again. Tanana Reeve-Jew, horror expert and author, and Tatiana Maslany from Orphan Black and She-Hulk, absolutely iconic. Now, on to the main event. The theme this week was Holiday of Horrors, and these looks did not disappoint. So, let's start from the top. First up, Auntie Heroine. Auntie came as a bucket of Halloween candy personified. Now, I love the concept. I love that melted, sticky candy aesthetic, but I wanted more. More cinch, more camp, more oomph. I think it would have been cool if she'd drank loads of colourful milk beforehand, so when she was sick it was more extreme and wild on stage and colourful and kind of went in with the candy aesthetic that she was going for. I love a good regurgitation moment in my acts, and that's a tip that I always tend to go for if I really need to get something out. I'm not sure I would have chosen this hair with this look. I think maybe I would have gone for some sort of big crown or a giant sweet or just something different, but I think that's just my personal taste, to be honest. She definitely had the candy vibes down, and I really did like that dress. It was almost like a melted pile of candy, and I would definitely like a taste of Auntie for dessert. Next up was Yuri. Yuri turned up as a Valentine's Day teddy bear. We're talking stitches, fluff, a whole Build-A-Bear nightmare. I liked it, but I thought the fingers looked unfinished. I don't like seeing the human when someone's doing a full creature look, and I could see her human fingertips. I would have liked the makeup to have been a bit scarier, or maybe it actually had a bear nose. It was too human in the face. I think she definitely could have added some more grit to this, a little bit more bite, you know? Maybe some ferocious claws and sharp teeth, a little bit of blood. But I think her gag was really fun though. Like, who doesn't love a messy queen covered in chocolate? Then we had Pie, who came out as Baby New Year and literally slayed. I love this bodysuit. The shape is iconic. The huge legs and the nappy and just the way Pie kind of walked out was really entertaining and really characterful. Again, I think Pie is bringing such strong, big, thought-out, conceptual looks to the stage. It's really impressive to see. The sparkles, the confetti, the makeup, it was all really great this week. Iconic. But Pie, where was the filth? I wanted to see filth. I wanted to see disgusting grossness. And what I got was like cute sparkly baby with a dirty nappy, which is great, but a baby with a dirty nappy is every mum's Monday morning. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't super filthy or gross to me. I think Pie could have been like writing on the floor with fake poo, or just like, there could have been more grit to it, more dirt, more filth. I think the reality is Pie's looks are so well finished. They just seem to be one level, whereas I think most other people have a couple of layers to their looks or something going on, a little bit of interaction. I think that's what Pie needs to add to these looks, give them a couple of layers, and then he would easily have won at least one of these challenges so far because his looks are so good. Next up, we had the gorgeous Jaharia. Now, this birthday clown moment, hands down, my favorite look from her so far. There's just so much going on with the chaos and the rainbow color palette. It's messy, it's wild, and I think it screams Jaharia. It feels really on brand for her. She's literally a walking party shop explosion, which I am living for. And then for her filth act, she sat on a cake, which, okay, fun, yeah, I get it. But not really filthy. It's more campy, which obviously isn't a bad thing, but I think she could have taken it further. Like, imagine if something disgusting had come out of the cake, like fake bugs or something. Now that would have been filth. Next up is the wonderful Vivi. She came out as a 4th of July pig and absolutely killed it this week. That silhouette, ooh, I loved it. I think this outfit is super detailed and interesting. From the top hat to the distressing on the costume and that barbecue reveal, brilliant. The way it was all tied into her character and connected to her insides even, it was really clever. And smashing the bottle as well, just super punk and really visceral. I will say I thought her mask looked a little clunky, but these sorts of masks always do have a little rigid feel to them because you can't express so much. So I can forgive her for that because I'm doing the same thing. Still, she was definitely a standout this week. Now, on to Grey Matter, who was giving us a rabid Easter bunny. Wow, just wow. The rotting yellow on the costume, the piercing red eyes. It was fierce and disgusting in the best way possible. The carrot reveal was iconic. I loved the slimy, wet look of the carrot. This look was giving me Donnie Darko. It was giving me Curse of the Were-Rabbit. It was giving me references to so much iconic pop culture and media. I loved the color palette and the textures. Just really, really well done. The face was scary and nightmarish. I think if I could change anything, I'd like to have seen it with a heel, maybe like a little pink glittery heel and a little pink handbag and maybe a little pink bow on the head. Just to like add some camp drag vibes to it, but that's just my personal taste. I like to silly everything up. And it was really nice to see him switch up the makeup a little bit after seeing him do 2 goblin, gremlin type creatures for the last 2 episodes. Loved the egg cracking reveal and loved his performance with it. It was filthy, it was gross, and yeah, he was definitely top for me this week. Now, let's talk about Desiree. Desiree came as a pilgrim to represent Thanksgiving, and honestly, this look is a lot more polished in my opinion than her last, a lot more refined, a lot more put together. But still a little underwhelming, a little pedestrian even. I really like the dirty details on the costume, and the shoes were on point, love those shoes. But overall, it felt a little too withdrawn, a little off the rack. I think she could have done with reshaping both the wig and the costume to make them a little more interesting and unique. For this sort of stage, you can't really go in just a generic pilgrim costume, if that makes sense. But listen, during her performance, she brought it. She's got that raw punk energy, like flicking the slime off of her wrist and chomping down on the worms. I thought she was really entertaining to watch. She definitely has great stage presence. I even loved her falling over like heels above her head, slipping on all the slime. I was here for it. Then we had Aurora, who was another baby New Year. I really like this look. I really like the bonnet and the silhouette, and somehow she still looks stylish, even covered in sick, which is definitely an achievement. The giant baby bottle was a really cute prop, and again, the costume was super worn and detailed, which was lovely to see. The look was really fun. I liked the colour palette that she had going on, and her 2 front teeth were really cute. But it wasn't quite filthy or scary for me. I think the Boulets were right when they said it looked more like haunted. I think it leaned towards spooky rather than grotesque. And again, with her filth act, pouring the baby food all over herself, it definitely looked gross, but I think compared to the others, it just didn't hit as hard. Next up, we had another 4th of July look from the gorgeous Majesty. And I've got to say, she also looked amazing. The makeup felt like a huge shift for her. It was almost unrecognizable, but I loved it. And I think her look might have been on the simpler side, but I think it was really effective and a clever choice to choose something really drawn back. It was sharp and it was clean, and it was a very good concept. The stilts were a fantastic choice for this act. They really elevated the look. Literally. And I thought the flag was also brilliant. I like the way she incorporated it into her performance. I think pissing on the flag while stood there in stilts was a really bold and provocative image. She took a patriotic moment and really said, screw you, and I'm so here for it. Now, let's talk about Asia Consent. Asia came out as Mother's Day. Asia's was hands down the darkest concept on the stage today. The baby doll parts, the blood, the extreme silhouette, it was creepy, it was unsettling, and I loved it. That being said, I did feel like the look looked a little bulky and crafty in some places, especially around the hip pads. And I think maybe I just got a personal dislike because I really hate her fabric choice. That like petal 3D material has forever given me the chills. That is my nightmare fuel. It gives me shivers. But personal material preferences aside, her performance was incredible. The visual of her opening her belly up with the wire hanger was so visceral and gross. And then eating the baby, iconic. And I also love that the baby had her makeup on. I thought that was a really cute touch. One thing I did think about the reveal was that I wish she'd attached another piece to her stomach so that when she cut the belly open and you could see inside, you couldn't see through to her human skin, because I could see her belly and it was kind of ruining the illusion for me. I would have liked there to have been like a circular latex piece of red, fleshy, with like hanging fleshy tendrils, that when she opened it up, this was still hanging. I think that would have given it a more of a sense of realism and grotesqueness. So, the Boulet Brothers give their critiques, and the top 3 are Gray, Vivi, and Asia. And Asia is the winner. Congratulations, Asia. I loved her risky, fierce, and fearless concept. Then we had the Extermination Challenge, which had me green with envy this week. Yuri and Desiree both got to jump out of a plane. Honestly, if I was there, I'd be purposefully flopping this week, because I've always wanted to jump out of a plane. Like, do you think they know what the Extermination Challenge is before the floor show, or is it revealed afterwards? It looks like it's revealed afterwards, but maybe they have some inkling. But before they partake in the Extermination Challenge, let's take a visit to the Cauldron. This week we had flying chickens, heartfelt mental health discussions, and even a moment of meditation, all packed into just a few minutes. This is becoming my favourite part of the show, even more so than the floor show. I spoke to Yuri about her mental health struggles, and that was a really hard-hitting conversation. I think a lot of us creatives are going through similar things at any point in our lives, and it's really important for people the other side of the screen to remember that we are all humans and we're all doing this. Most of the time, this sort of art comes from a place of trauma and comes from a place of struggle. So it's important to keep that in mind. And I sent all my love to Yuri. I hope she's doing much better now. She's clearly very talented and the world is a better place with her in it. But then we have Desiree, who kind of pipes in and comes across a little inconsiderate. She's just desperate to stay there. And so she throws a chicken at Yuri. A chicken. She threw a chicken across the room. A raw chicken, an uncooked raw chicken. I mean, this is iconic. This is iconic TV. And I actually love how Yuri just like batted the chicken away like it was a mosquito. There was something really sexy about that. Like, oh my God, why is everything turning me on? I need to pull myself together. I'm a horny little pumpkin. No, stop. And then we have Auntie step in. And again, I absolutely love Auntie's attitude here. I like how she controls the situation. She calms everybody down. She tells everybody to take a deep breath and have this moment of calm. And I thought it was really funny to see a group of monsters all deep breathe together like this. Honestly, I was so here for this. I would watch a whole series of monsters doing like group therapy together. I think that would be brilliant. That should be a side spin-off show from Dragula, like group therapy with the Dragula contestants. Onto the plane jump. Now, they both jump out of the plane and they both do it pretty fearlessly. So it's hard to say who wins here. So I guess it's going back to the challenge and back to the previous episodes. To be honest, I think it's hard to do a bad job of jumping out of a plane unless you just refuse to do it. So Miss Desiree Dick gets the chop. R.I.P. Desiree, I will see you in hell. Oh, one other point I had to make, I also really love the credits. I like how they show this behind the scenes footage of the queens kind of like socializing. It was lovely to see Yuri and Desiree hug after the plane jump. That's it for this week, weirdos. It's been a wild ride, but next week promises even more chaos. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Who was your favourite? Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you like this video, and click that notifications icon in the corner for more videos from me. I'll see you next week for the next review. Until then, stay freaky, stay fabulous, and stay fucked up. What do you think of my new background? Do you like it? I just changed it up. I kind of built this little set now because before I was just doing it in the middle of my studio and it was kind of getting a bit messy, having to reset it up every time. So I built this set, so it's going to be here from now on. Let me know what you think down below. Have any suggestions, what I can add, what I can change. What about the lighting as well? Is it too bright? Is it not bright enough? Have a lovely day! Woohoo!